outside. I'm out in my little man cave area, and I had a video suggestion, so I'm making a reply to that video suggestion. And somebody had asked me, his name is John Doe, had asked me to do a video on if you could only have one handgun, what would it be? So I thought I'd share what my thoughts are. If I could only have one handgun, what would it be? And I would also ask for you to get on and comment what would your one handgun be if you could only have one handgun. So I've done a little bit of thinking about this. If I could only have one handgun, what would it be? There's a lot of different factors to take into consideration when it comes to handguns if you only have one handgun. I suppose one of the biggest factors would be, can you also have rifles and shotguns as well, and you also have one handgun? Or is this one handgun going to be the only gun you have? That would completely change my answer, but if the answer really does come down to one handgun, if I could only have one handgun, what would it be? I'll tell you what it is. Now, I brought it out here in this little case here. It may or may not be what you think it is. And I've owned quite a few handguns over the years. I was actually pretty surprised. You know, I live in a state where you have to register handguns. And when I buy handguns, I'm going to show some clips right down below right here. Or not below, but I'm going to show some clips right now of some of the handguns I've owned over the years. There's a few missing because I haven't got pictures for all of them. But this is a lot of the handguns I've owned over the years. And I was surprised because I live in a state where you have to register your handguns. And one time I went into the police department to do something, and they said I had 20 registered handguns or something like that. But a lot of that is I buy some, and if I don't like them, I trade them back in, and I buy something else. And a lot of people are like that, you know. I envy the people that can buy whatever they want and keep whatever they want. I'm certainly not one of those people. I have to kind of decide what it is I want, and I'll trade in something a lot of the times for something else. So this is some of the handguns I've owned over the years. And what else was I going to say? I don't know. Anyways, oh yeah, if you look at these handguns, a lot of them you'll notice are mostly revolvers. I've always had this love for revolvers, and I've owned a lot of different semi-automatic pistols of different caliber, several high-capacity semi-automatics. Anyways, back onto the topic. If I could only own one handgun, is that purpose going to be a single purpose where you're going to get the most use out of that single purpose, or is it going to be for multi-purpose? And if I could only own one gun in general, I would have to take the side of multi-purpose. And there's a lot of guns out there I've owned that would just totally fill that role. I mean, one of my favorite guns of all time that I don't have anymore was my Smith & Wesson Model 629 in .44 Magnum, the 6-inch barrel. I could have done everything with that gun, from light .44 specials for home defense all the way up to deer hunting or something like that, or bear defense, or even concealed carry in the right, setup. I could have gotten away with it. But I put in this case here, the one gun that I would have if I could only have one handgun, and that is not what you thought it was. My little J-frame 38. This thing's unloaded. And if I didn't have this little J-frame 38, I'd have a different J-frame 38, or I might have an LCR or something like that. The reason why this right here would be the one handgun I can own is because I'm so comfortable with it. It goes everywhere with me. I can pocket carry this thing anywhere, and I feel the most comfortable with this system. Now, something this small that just... When you get a bigger gun, they do shoot well, but there's something about them, whether it be a semi-automatic or a revolver, where if there's a lot of mass to the gun, it's almost like you have to, aim the thing. As for something like this, it's so small and light and goes everywhere that it's just a part of my body. It's a part of my everyday life. So this thing had to come out, it would be second nature, it would be on target at a reasonably close range, and I feel comfortable with it. Having a handgun that you can take with you anywhere, in situation, to me, is really the whole purpose of a handgun. And sure, I could go bigger and I could change the way I carry and dress differently. But for me, I simply prefer to have something about this size. It's just very, very convenient. I can put it really anywhere, any pockets you can think of. I can, put it in a holster, inside, outside the waistband, do whatever I want for carrying it. So that's the handgun that I would personally own. It's not the most powerful I own. It's certainly not the most powerful I've owned or have ever owned. Certainly doesn't have the most capacity I've ever owned. I've owned several 15-shot semi-automatic pistols, 9mm, but just everyday life, everyday carry, comfortableness, what I'm familiar with. I really like the 5-shot J-frame size revolvers. Have them with me all the time, and they're just a part of my persona, I guess. So that's what I would use. That's what I would have if I could only have one handgun. Considering the fact that I may own rifles or shotguns and other stuff like that, because home defense. If I didn't have something a little bit more powerful or more capacity or bigger than this, I could use a shotgun or rifle. Now, if you told me I could never have any other rifles and shotguns, just one, I would pick something different. I would probably pick some sort of a 9mm, like a Glock or a SIG or something like that has a decent capacity, or I would choose probably a 44 or 357 Magnum revolver with about a 4-inch barrel. So that's just what I think. That's my opinion on that. So what's your opinion? What would you carry? Not just carry, but have at home, whatever. If you could only have one handgun, what would it be? So give me an answer to that in the comments. I'd love to hear it. So this is my opinion on this. So again, as always, thanks for watching.